facing an evil poison's taint, and your beautiful, gravely injured master. You have two choices before you. First, detoxify your master and become a rebellious disciple. Second, do nothing. Pretend you don't know. But you chose neither, because you awakened a simulation system. In the first two simulations, you tried both options. The results were always the same. When Master woke up, you were dead instantly, completely gone. So when the third simulation began, you made an illogical decision. You pushed the door open, the familiar, alluring scene. But this time you didn't freeze. Instead, you rushed to the bed. Su Qingshuang was startled, but you immediately knelt by the bed. Master, are you okay? How bad are your injuries? Your Honor, I was ambushed by the underworld sect, gravely injured, and poisoned by evil venom. If I don't find intimacy, my life is in danger. Your gaze paused. You faked confusion. So the evil poison, it's that kind that awakens desire. And if it acts up without a man and a woman, it's deadly? Before you finished speaking, Su Qingshuang, like the first time, reached out and hooked your neck. You didn't rush to embrace her. Instead, you mumbled, I recall 5th senior brother recently refined a pill for this poison. I think it was called the Qingmai pill. You hinted to 5th senior brother Zhao Yuanlang that he had the antidote pill to Su Qingshuang ahead of time, encouraging her to hang on. If the others aren't back by tomorrow, we'll find another way. The next morning, 1st senior sister and the others returned. You stood outside Hongxie Bridge and spotted 5th senior brother Zhao Yuanlang in the distance. You quickly waved him over and immediately asked for the Qingmai antidote. Trusting you as a fellow disciple and worried for Master, Zhao Yuanlang didn't hesitate. He pulled out the pill and handed it to you. Junior brother Master, how is she? Is it internal poison? Oh, senior brother, you'll know soon enough. You hid your awkwardness with a smile. You turned and handed the pill to Su Qingshuang yourself. An hour later, Su Qingshuang called a disciple meeting in Qixia Hall. Everything was as you predicted. The process was identical to previous simulations. After everyone declared their loyalty, Su Qingshuang didn't look at you this time. Instead, she slowly looked at 5th senior brother, Minner. I hear you personally refined that Qingmai antidote pill. Zhao Yuanlang, still smug, replied. A pill I refined in my spare time. Didn't expect it could detoxify Master. This disciple dares not hope for anything. As soon as he finished speaking, Su Qingshuang sneered. Her sword flashed. Everyone was stunned. Zhao Yuanlang clutched his neck, his face full of disbelief. Only you, the culprit, knew why. That antidote pill, Zhao Yuanlang actually refined months ago. But last night, you deliberately told Su Qingshuang that the pill was refined not long ago. The term not long ago is subtle. It can be long, or it can be short. This master is in dire straits, poisoned by evil venom. Why do only you have the antidote? And refined recently? Damn you, rebellious disciple. This is the fate of betraying the sect. 5th senior brother became your scapegoat. But who was the real mole? It was still unknown. You successfully survived until night. But then you found a problem. If you don't die, the simulation won't end. The next morning, you went to the Dianji pavilion again? Because the fragment from the last simulation hinted secrets were hidden here. You decided to dig deeper. You found the hidden merit record again. Just as you were checking for missed details, 2nd senior sister suddenly appeared behind you. She slapped your shoulder. Junior brother, what are you looking at? Shuang Hanyu's voice was as cold as a blade. After seeing the merit record in your hand, her expression changed. She grabbed your throat and lifted you up. You really found the secret here. Looks like I can't let you live. Terror filled your face. No amount of pleading saved you. You died. Simulation ended. Event fragments obtained. 1. 2nd senior sister's close encounter. 2. The secret of Dianji pavilion. You gasped sharply for air. Suffocation gripped your chest, as if you'd truly just died, to be strangled by 2nd senior sister. What secret did Dianji pavilion hide that forced her to kill you? Wasn't she afraid Master would punish her? You rubbed your neck, your face in despair. Oh my God. Can anyone even survive in this sect? Isn't this supposed to be cultivation? Why is it a mystery now? But through these 3 simulations, you could finally get past Master Su Qingshuang's mole hunt. Too bad 5th senior brother had to be sacrificed. But as the saying goes, better him than me. You looked at the system panel. With only 2 simulations left, suddenly an idea struck you. Since simulation points refresh 5 times daily for free, might as well use them. Since you already knew you'd survive until tomorrow, why not use this time to gather all possible time fragments? You aimed for Master's first night. Who else but me? 2 event simulations began. You followed the first simulation's routine. Soon, you reached the personal detoxification part. This time you tried different ways, vowing to avenge your sealed throat. Though detoxification worked, you still couldn't escape death. You simulated it again. Afterward, you felt a bit gaunt. Even walking felt weak. But this wasn't the time to think about that. So, with unsteady steps, like an old actor possessed, you methodically arrived at Master's chamber. Still the familiar sounds, the familiar alluring scene. But this time, your mind was truly calm. After 2 simulations, even if Buddha appeared now, his composure wouldn't match yours. Master, you must hold on. First senior sister and the others will be back soon. Then with 5th senior brother's antidote, you'll surely be fine. If they aren't back by tomorrow morning, even if I die, I'll help Master detoxify. Su Qingshuang looked at you, at your haggard face, worn out from worry, and was deeply moved. Looking at his own disciple like this, he actually looks so exhausted and worn out. There's not a trace of lust or wicked thoughts in his eyes. It's rare to see such a pure-hearted disciple these days. He thought to himself, that damn 5th brother actually made the clear vein detox pill in advance. What is he really up to? What's about to happen next is exactly the same as your previous simulations. But this time, you kept quietly observing the reactions of your 3 senior sisters. You actually catch little details you missed before. Their reactions are really odd. Shocked, but with a hint of relief. Not even a bit of regret for junior brother's death. Before you came to Betrayal Sect, 5th senior brother Zhao Yuanlong had already spent a whole year with the senior sisters. An entire year. Even if a cat or dog died after that long, they would at least feel a little sad, right? Junior brother, stop looking. Just go bury Zhao Yuanlong behind the mountain. Half a quarter hour later, you and 4th senior brother Zhou Chengfeng bury the body under a tree in the back mountain. With so much open space back there, why go out of your way and pick this exact tree to bury him? You didn't say this question out loud, because it's already outside the timeline you simulated before. You decide to ask about it in your simulation tomorrow.
After all that,
you sit in your own courtyard, carefully going over everything that happened today. This cultivation world seems totally different from what you expected. If Su Qingshuang wanted to catch the traitor, why not just soul search everybody directly? How could a nascent soul cultivator not know soul searching? Just soul search everyone one by one, and you'd definitely find the traitor, but he just didn't do that. Only based on your few words and his own suspicions, he sentenced someone on the spot. And then there's the secret hidden in the Dainji pavilion. All you did was find a merit book. Yet 2nd senior sister freaked out so much. She even killed her own junior brother herself. There must be some big reason behind this. If she's willing to kill, it means she's not afraid of consequences. Which means Su Qingshuang is probably the main one benefiting from this. Looks like Betrayal Sect is way more complicated than I thought. If I'm not careful, I might not make it a few more days. Alright. I think I've collected enough world fragments now. You suddenly remember. You pull up your system menu again. In the bottom right of your profile page, you see an icon for fragments. You activate it with a thought. The who else but me unlock mark is flashing. You immediately choose to unlock it, ding. Congrats, host, you've completed the world. Who else but me? You may choose one reward from the following options. 1 sim point recovers every 2 hours. 1.2 sim point cap increases by 2. Daily refresh. 3 no side effects after simulation ends. 3 options appear before you. You feel like you really need to think this over. First, you can rule out the third one. The side effects are basically just the pain in your neck, feeling choked, or just feeling weak, all of which you can just recover from in real life. The first one naturally gives you recovery. You can get up to 6 free uses a day, at least 3 free runs, plus the base 5 points. That's at least 8 simulations per day. The more simulations you get, the more confident you feel about exploring the Sect's secrets. I'll take option 1. You don't hesitate at all. Sim points. Now you can recover 1 sim point every 2 hours, plus the Who Else But Me title. Soon it's midnight. Your sim points are instantly full. You start another simulation. This time you plan a nighttime sneak attack. Qualified simulation begins. You think things over in your room, but decide you better check on Master first. Based on past simulations, Su Qingshuang should fully trust you now. But surprisingly, the moment you step into the Hall of Heroes, first senior sister Shen Ruoqing suddenly comes out from the back. She's clearly surprised to see you. Junior brother, why are you here? Just wanted to see how Master is doing. You answer honestly. A warm smile appears on Shen Ruoqing's face. She puts her hand on your shoulder and speaks gently. It's rare that you're so thoughtful. You still care about Master, huh?
He said.
You were taking care of him all day yesterday. Really, we have you to thank. Senior sister's personality isn't as cold as second senior sister's. She actually makes you feel at ease. At least there's one normal person here. What are you talking about? Master is the one who believed in me. If he hadn't taken me as a disciple, how would I have ever made it to a place like Betrayal Sect? To learn cultivation and become part of the world of cultivators. Your sincerity makes Shen Ruoqing give you a thumbs up. Just then, you suddenly speak up again. Senior sister, I've broken through to key refining stage 3 now, but it still feels too slow. Probably because I picked the wrong technique. Can I go to the pavilion and find a new key refining technique? Didn't your third senior sister tell you? You picked one of those outdated techniques. That stuff is old and discarded, but honestly, your speed is pretty decent. 3 levels in 2 months. Maybe you'll complete key refining in 6 months. Shen Ruoqing comforts you and gives you another helpful suggestion. Try cultivating the yelling true technique. You double check. If you can go to Dainji Pavilion at this hour, she looks puzzled. Isn't it always open? Once you're sure, you rush to the Dainji Pavilion, looking around carefully. But second senior sister is nowhere in sight. Guess she won't suddenly jump out this time. You've been to Dainji Pavilion many times. The different techniques are all organized neatly. But this time you play it smart. You don't go straight for the merit books. Instead, you check out some other shelves. Finally, after some effort, you notice something odd in the advanced techniques section. It's a box hidden behind the bookshelf. You wouldn't find it without looking closely. You open the box and see a bamboo scroll inside. It's a unique cultivation manual about alchemy. You observe it carefully and realize the shelves around you are covered in dust because no one tidies them. But the box is spotless, so someone handled it lately. You're sure it's an alchemy manual. Seems like besides third senior sister and fifth brother, no one else studies alchemy here. So, does this scroll belong to third senior sister or fifth brother? As you're thinking about it, you suddenly feel a chill behind you. You turn around, and your heart skips a beat. Second senior sister Shuang Hanyu is right behind you, staring intensely at you. Junior brother, what are you doing in Dainji Pavilion so late? She looks cold as ice, sizing you up suspiciously. You quickly explain. I just asked Big World about cultivation. He told me to relearn a new technique. So I came to the pavilion to pick yelling true technique. She hears the reason. Shuang Hanyu is clearly startled. She glances at the bamboo scroll in your hand and actually gives a slight smile. So what's that in your hand? No idea. I found it behind the advanced techniques shelf. It's an alchemy manual. Probably fifth brother Zhao Yuanlong left it there. Did you find something out? Shuang Hanyu stares hard at you. You get a bad feeling, but try to stay calm. What are you talking about, senior sister? You found out fifth brother's secret, didn't you? Shuang Hanyu slowly closes in on you. She suddenly steps forward and lifts you up. Your eyes go wide. You feel like you can't breathe. At the very end, you struggle to spit out "fuck you." She strangles you to death. Simulation ends. Event fragment obtained. Intimate encounter between first and second senior sister. Secret of the clicking pavilion. You jolt awake, gasping for breath under a tree. That breathless feeling was worse than last time. It hit your body even harder. After you catch your breath, you're really freaking out. Is second senior sister actually insane? She's always around the clicking pavilion, watching during the day. And at night too. If I mess up, I'll get caught. My acting is already pretty convincing. She still gets suspicious. What's more, I have first senior sister backing me up at the clicking pavilion. Something's off. It can't be just bad luck. Even if second senior sister is guarding this place, she can't watch every second. So where's the problem? Could it be first senior sister? You squint your eyes, feeling a chill in your heart. Unless I figure out the clicking pavilion's secret, I can't relax. You decide to try again. This time, you plan to play it smart. Begin simulation. You look up at the crescent moon. Head over to Kixia Hall again. Run into first senior sister. Say the same lines as last simulation. After taking Shen Ruoking's advice, you cheerfully head to the clicking pavilion. But this time, you don't search the bookshelves. Instead, as soon as you enter, you hide in the storage cabinet at the back. A quarter hour goes by. You're all cramped up and miserable in there. Just when you wonder if you're overthinking, you hear quiet footsteps outside. You quickly hold your breath. Lowering your head, you peek through the cabinet cracks. Second senior sister appears. She looks around carefully, like she's searching for something. Right at that moment, another set of footsteps sounds. Then first senior sister's gentle voice follows. Your eyes suddenly widen, really wide. First senior sister, didn't you say senior brother Lu would come by? He didn't show up. Oh, I guess I was being paranoid. Even if not tonight, he'll probably show up tomorrow morning. You keep an eye out, okay? Don't let him find anything he shouldn't. Got it. All right. Did you handle fifth junior brother's issue? I couldn't stand that bastard. Wanted him dead. Well, guess he got what he deserved. We shouldn't talk about this. If Master hears such things, he'll get upset. Let senior brother 3 handle fifth's problem. Your heart is pounding. Not until their voices and steps fade away. Do you finally breathe a sigh of relief? At the same time, you realize something. First senior sister isn't good either. She told second senior sister that you'd be heading to clicking pavilion. You wait a long time. Only come out after making sure no one's around. And just as you're sneaking out, the system suddenly announces your death. Simulation over. You stare at the simulation screen, confused. You have no idea how you died. Only after watching the playback do you get it. Turns out they found you ages ago. Since you didn't come out, second senior sister lost patience and straight up smashed the cabinet with you inside. You sit cross-legged on the ground. Close your eyes and think. Go over everything that happened step by step. Sum it up like this. Point 1. Within Betrayal Sect, things might not be as righteous as they seem. Or maybe all these cultivators are just crazy. Second Master Su Qingshuang is extremely radical. She says she's looking for a traitor, but murders people without any evidence. Point 2. From the talk between first and second senior sister, it's clear enough. Second senior sister is the gatekeeper of the clicking pavilion. And fifth brother Zhao Yuanlong's death is fishy. Second senior sister really hated him, said he deserved to die. Even first senior sister didn't disagree. So probably fifth brother wasn't innocent either. Point 4. There's no one trustworthy in this sect. Whoever you deal with, you could get killed for some random reason. If this path is blocked for now, maybe I should focus on someone else. While first and second senior sister were talking, they talked about handling fifth brother. But here's the thing. Fifth brother's already dead. You buried his body with fourth brother. What else is there to handle? Are they gonna dig him up and beat his corpse? That would be too much. What good is a dead body? You think back to details from the burial. But there's one thing that stands out. Fourth brother Zhou Chengfeng specifically wanted the body buried under a certain tree, even though there were plenty of other trees nearby. Why go for the far one instead of the close ones? There's got to be something here. You look at your last 3 simulation chances and decide to keep going. Start simulating again. The night air is chilly. You carefully leave the yard. using clues from your last simulation. You know, senior sister Liu Ryan will soon come to the back mountain to deal with fifth brother's corpse. So, you silently hide behind a slope, undercover. Cover your head with weeds. Only your eyes sticking out watching. She's a mid-stage foundation cultivator. As long as she doesn't check closely, you doubt she notice you. After about half a quarter hour, you finally see something. You nervously keep your gaze ahead. Liu Ryan shows up in a plain dress. Walks right up to the tree where fifth brother is buried. Looks pretty annoyed, holding a jar, muttering under her breath. Probably complaining about first senior sister and them. But she's too far away to hear. You really can't make out a thing. But then, what happens next stuns you. You even forget to breathe. You watch Liu Ryan dig up the grave, then stab the corpse with her knife. A few times. Next moment, she actually pulls out a bloody heart. The crazy part is, the heart is black, and it's still beating. With your own eyes, you see Liu Ryan put the heart in her jar. Before leaving, she casually throws the dirt back in and walks off. After a long while, you make sure she's really gone and finally come out from hiding. You dig up fifth brother's grave again. The chest cavity is empty, but fresh tissue keeps leaking out where the heart was. Holy shit, is this a cosmic horror cultivation world? That doesn't make sense. You just stand there, feeling a chill creep up your scalp, then fill the grave back up, staring at the little mound at your feet, feeling all kinds of things. You wonder if you should just run for it. But with these skinny arms and legs, you'd get caught before you got far. Suddenly a leaf drops from above. You shake your head, then your eyes sharpen. You look the tree up and down, suspicious. Glance around at the other trees, and suddenly realize something's wrong. All the other trees nearby are thriving, full of leaves. But this tree with fifth brother is just so. Looks kinda weak, like it's missing water or nutrients. And a scary idea hits you. Same land, same conditions, same back mountain. Why are the other trees thriving, but this one isn't? You swallow hard and nervously check the closest tree, comparing where fifth brother was buried. You start digging with your hands. And keep digging. You're sweating by now, because you clearly feel human bones under your fingers. To test your theory, you dig under a few other trees. And it's just like you thought. Every tree has a body buried under it. You then remember what you found at Clicking Pavilion. That merit book with a list of brothers' names. But you've never seen any trace of them. There are 34 trees here. So, the people buried are probably those missing brothers. You feel like you've glimpsed a small piece of the Sect's secrets, just as you're walking back down the corridor. Unexpectedly, you run right into third senior sister who's carrying a black jar. You jump in surprise. Cold sweat breaks out instantly. Liu Ryan notices something off about you. She frowns a little. Junior brother, why aren't you cultivating in your room this late at night? And why are you out here? It's nothing, senior sister. I'm just a bit bored. So I came out for some air. You act like you know nothing. You purposely changed the subject. What's that you're holding, senior sister? You bet Liu Ryan would just brush it off. But to your surprise, she actually smiles and hands you the black jar. You force yourself to stay calm, instinctively stepping back a bit. Liu Ryan tilts her head and moves closer. She sizes you up. Junior brother, you're not being honest. Look at the dirt on you. Your clothes are stained with blood. You must have gone to the back mountain to see fifth senior brother, right? You turn and run. But Liu Ryan's playful laughter rings out as she drags you into the pill refining room. Liu, do you know? Actually, I've wanted your heart for a long time now. But these past 2 months, you've been so respectful to us, never making a single mistake. Begging for mercy just makes him more excited. Your heart gets torn out while you're still alive. As you're fading away, you see your own bright red, still warm and beating heart, along with the shock and confusion that suddenly appears on Liu Ryan's face. Simulation ends. You got an event fragment. 1. Missing senior brother 2. Yander 3. Senior sister's redemption. You clutch your aching chest, staring at the words on the system panel, gritting your teeth in frustration. Damn system, you're telling me this is called redemption? Who calls digging out someone's heart redemption? Your gaze turns cold. Your chest still aches. The negative effects from the simulation are really tough to handle. Guess tonight I need to stop here. I'll run more simulations tomorrow morning if anything comes up. You lie down in the yard, on the lounge chair, close your eyes, and start one final reflection. As I was fading away, third senior sister saw my heart. She looked really shocked. She probably thought my heart should be black, but she didn't expect it to be red. So the redemption in the event fragment means she realized she killed the wrong person. A black heart sure doesn't look like a good person's heart. That's right in the senior sister's eyes. Fifth senior brother Zhao Yuanling isn't a good person. So his heart is black? But what if I can prove I'm a good person? As soon as that thought pops up, you shut it down. Because if you could just explain it with words, maybe you would have at least gotten a chance to talk. In their eyes, you're probably not a good guy either. It's a bias. Basically a type. But if you judge by good or evil, here's another question. What about those missing senior brothers? There are about 30 people altogether. Are all of them bad guys? Are they all totally evil? It just doesn't make sense. You push aside these messy thoughts and focus on absorbing spiritual energy. The night passes quietly. The sound of swords at dawn wakes you up. Fourth, senior brother Zhou Chengfeng is practicing sword in the next yard. Starting sword practice this late in the morning. Kinda late, you mutter softly, and carefully walk over to his yard. Zhou Chengfeng's sword dances fast in his hands, creating wind and clouds in the yard. A wave of sword energy suddenly flashes right by your feet. He finally stops, looks up at you, and smiles. Junior brother, what brings you here? Did I make too much noise and disturb your cultivation? Being cautious, you decide to start simulation first. Faced with his question, you take the initiative to explain. Nah, I just wanted to check things out. By the way, senior brother, I cultivated in the yard all last night. I never saw you practicing sword. Makes me feel kinda weird. Zhou Chengfeng laughs a few times, then sighs. He looks troubled. Turns out fifth senior brother is a spy for the Nether Sect. So I didn't practice sword, just cultivated in my room. I never expected fifth senior brother to be that kind of guy. He always seemed decent. You let out a big sigh, showing deep regret. Then you probe, senior brother Zhou. Third senior sister said, the technique I picked in the Gongdian pavilion isn't that good. I want to pick a different key cultivating technique. Can you help me find one, senior brother? Mentioning the Gongdian pavilion, Zhou Chengfeng's face instantly changes. He starts to sound nervous, waves it off. Hey, it's just picking a technique. Why not ask the first senior sister or someone instead? I haven't even built my foundation yet. I'm not much stronger than you. You catch a flash of fear on Zhou Chengfeng's face. Seems like he knows something. Doesn't dare go with you. So you try again, senior brother. Last time I went on my own. But there are so many types of techniques. I can't tell which are good or bad. Anyway, I found a merit book there. Just as you finish speaking, Zhou Chengfeng suddenly steps forward, covering your mouth. With a scared look, stop talking. What's wrong, senior brother? Isn't it just a merit book? I'm just curious. Why are there so many names I never heard of? Do you know them? You break free and blurt out another sentence. This really scares Zhou Chengfeng. Susu, junior brother, keep your voice down, or you'll get me killed. He covers your mouth again, signals you to stop talking, then whispers, warning you, don't mess with merit books. And don't talk to anyone about it, or you'll end up dead. You're completely shocked. Didn't expect Zhou Chengfeng to react like this. Your face suddenly darkens, coldly saying, senior brother, what is happening here? You don't have to hide anything from me. I know more than you think. I know not just that Fallen Wind used to have a lot of disciples, but also, they're all buried beneath the trees in the back mountain. Zhou Chengfeng looks at you with a complicated expression, gently shakes his head. It's pointless. Whatever you do won't matter. Knowing the truth isn't always good. Who knows? Maybe you or I will be the next one to die. Why? You're completely confused. Zhou Chengfeng looks at your puzzled face and asks, you really don't understand? Or are you pretending? I honestly don't get it. We joined the Sect for immortality cultivation. So why do we have to die? Confronted with your questions, Zhou Chengfeng just laughs. and says, "Now I get it. You're really from an isolated mountain village, the ninth heaven on the nine heavens continent, which is where we are now. Female cultivators here are hostile towards men. For low-level cultivators like us, entering this place full of female cultivators, we're basically just playthings to them." You try to digest Zhou Chengfeng's words. So this place is a world where male and female cultivators are opposed. But it's not strictly a female-dominated world. Zhou Chengfeng admits he's known about the merit book for a while, but was too scared to say anything. Afraid of angering the masters, after saying all this, he pats your shoulder, makes an excuse and leaves. You have no choice but to return to your own yard. But before long, Su Qingshuang brings a few senior sisters. All show up in your yard, looking fierce. Zhou Chengfeng points at you, whispers something to Su Qingshuang. Su Qingshuang sneers. "So, you're the real spy. Almost got fooled by you." Simulation ends. You stare wide-eyed, cursing in your mind. "Junior brother, what's wrong?" Zhou Chengfeng sees you freeze up, looking puzzled. Your expression turns icy cold, and you say calmly, "It's nothing. I'm just wandering around, senior brother. Didn't mean to bother your sword practice." Back in your yard, your face is as dark as it gets. You thought you found a kindred spirit, but didn't expect. Zhou Chengfeng isn't any better either.
He must have reported me to Master.
That's why you died. But why did he frame and kill me? You rubbed your chin. You pulled up the system page. The final settlement screen was still there. Seeing that Jig's secret was complete, you instantly rejoiced. You quickly entered the fragment page to unlock it. Ding, congrats host, you've completed the event. Jig's secret. You can pick one of the following as a reward. 1. Cultivation speed doubles during simulation. 50% cultivation feedback. 2. Maintain clear awareness during simulation. Insight improved. 3. Single simulation limit increases by 2. And you can end the simulation anytime. No need to die to end it. You looked at the 3 options. You pondered. You definitely have to pick what you need most. First, you can rule out option 1. What? You're telling me during the simulation. You break from key condensation 2 to 3, only to get key condensation 2.5 feedback in reality? As for the second option, you actually really wanted it, but your body couldn't take it. The side effects from the last simulation haven't worn off. If you keep up with high-intensity simulations, you'd really be ruined. I choose 3. Ability bonus point, Jig's secret. After choosing, you restarted the simulation. You decided to first systematically organize the known information. Simulation begins. You began summarizing and analyzing the last simulation. First, Zhou Chengfeng not only knew Jig's secret, he also knew the truth behind the senior brother's deaths. But Master didn't kill him. Second, after Zhou Chengfeng knew you discovered the secret, he didn't want to kill you at first. He reported you later, most likely for self-preservation. Third, his reason for self-preservation was simple. As he said, to survive. He had to please Master and them. So Zhou Chengfeng framed you. Calling you a spy was just his way to please Master. So, Zhou Chengfeng in the sect always acted like an obedient disciple. Because he was so obedient, he gained Master's trust. That's why Su Qingshuang, without question, believed him and directly killed you. You weren't quite sure about this guess, but you quickly found a way to verify it. Test Su Qingshuang's trust in Zhou Chengfeng. So you rushed to Qixia Hall. Master Su Qingshuang was talking to the senior sister. When she saw you, she stopped talking. Yuaner, do you need me? Su Qingshuang said indifferently. You bowed respectfully and said, Hello, Master. Hello, senior sister. I've come here. Actually, I have something to say. Regarding 5th senior brother Zhao Yuanlang, I'm not sure if I should speak. Hearing you proactively mention Zhao Yuanlang, Su Qingshuang's gaze visibly darkened. Even the senior sister lost her smile. So tell me, what do you think happened to Zhao Yuanlang? You feigned hesitation and said your prepared words. Senior brother Zhao Yuanlang is a very skilled alchemist. His alchemy is on par with 3rd senior sisters. Master, before you went on your journey, although senior brother Zhao Yuanlang had already prepared the antidote, he might not necessarily be a spy. Even if he's a spy, could there be others in the sect? With your carefully prepared words, Su Qingshuang agreed to your proposed plan. Actually, in this talk, you also instilled another idea in Su Qingshuang. You had no reason to harm her. If you wanted to harm her, you could have done it before the senior siblings returned. After agreeing on details with Su Qingshuang, you immediately found Zhou Chengfeng diligently practicing his sword. He was quite surprised by your arrival.
He asked, puzzled. Junior brother.
Is something wrong? You looked at him calmly. Senior brother, stop pretending. I know all about Jig's secret. Your words startled him. In haste, he still, like last time, covered your mouth, but you pushed him away and said coldly, Senior brother, you know everything. Why won't you tell me? Facing your questions, his explanation was still the same. At the same time, Zhou Chengfeng also warned you that master and the others must never know. As he was about to leave, you suddenly called out to him, Senior brother, you must answer a few questions now. Otherwise, we'll both die. You directly threatened him, leaving Zhou Chengfeng stunned. You ignored his reaction and said, First question. Fifth senior brother Zhao Yuanling. Why exactly did he die? You and I both know. He couldn't have been a spy for the Nether Sect. Why did Master kill without reason? Facing your questions, Zhou Chengfeng stood frozen for a long time, then said indifferently, Junior brother, whether Master is truly catching spies or just wants to kill. You know that yourself, don't you?
Hearing this,
You were surprised, but recalling the previous simulation, it seemed true. You also learned from Zhou Chengfeng that second senior sister, because of her childhood experiences, hated men, and Zhao Yuanlang actually liked her. After Zhou Chengfeng finished answering this question, he left the courtyard without looking back. You knew, he went to report to Master. Soon Master, the senior sister, and others indeed arrived at your courtyard. Zhou Chengfeng, just like last time, whispered a few words into Su Qingshuang's ear. Su Qingshuang's expression suddenly changed. She drew her sword. However, this time, the sword wasn't pointed at you, but at Zhou Chengfeng. Su Qingshuang was pleased. You helped her uncover a major threat, so she rewarded you with a chance to go to Heaven Scroll Peak's mysterious spirit pool to cleanse your bloodline. 2 days later, you arrived at Heaven Scroll Peak with the senior sister. After firmly remembering Shen Ruoking's instructions, you walked into the mysterious spirit pool. It was a murky black pool, filled with viscous liquid. You walked in step by step, and were instantly swallowed. Your skin felt like 1,000 needles pricking it. But you didn't believe Master would harm you. After some time, your body underwent a great transformation. Just as you were about to get up and leave, the main door was pushed open. A tall, ferocious man appeared before you. He was shocked. Innate true yang physique. You were wondering, how could a man suddenly appear? The next second you were lifted, and instantly drained of your essence. Your consciousness blurred quickly, so fast you couldn't even end the simulation. But as everything shattered, you died. Simulation ended. You sharply opened your eyes. The next second, your body went limp, and you fell to the ground. Damn it. So in the end, you awakened a special physique, only to be drained to death by a man? Wait, that's not right. Isn't the Betrayal sect a matriarchal sect? How could there be a man with high status? You stood frozen, at a loss. You could only check the settlement page first. Obtained event fragments. 1. The perverted sect master's schemes. 2. Master's trust. 3. Am I a sacred body or an immortal body? You didn't expect. This time's event fragments were full of hints. The one who killed you was the sect master. The sect master is a man. A matriarchal sect. And you're telling me the sect master is male? But there's also a benefit. Master's trust. This fragment indicates Su Qingshuang already trusts you. Regardless of whether Zhou Chengfeng was a spy, he was ultimately guilty. He lied and framed you. To Su Qingshuang, this was disobedience. No matter what you said, you were just helping Master test out a disobedient disciple. So you indirectly gained favor. But this, whether I'm a sacred or immortal physique, what is this all about? According to the sect master, I clearly awakened the innate true yang physique. You fell into brief contemplation. You've reached a point that triggers a death ending. You must be ready and find a way to survive the sect master. It was clear that by the end of the simulation, Su Qingshuang rushed to save you. But she was a step too late. That means you just need to get Master to arrive earlier, and you'll be safe. But time waits for no one. You endured the discomfort in your body and started the simulation again. You followed the previous simulation's path step by step. Finally, before heading to the profound spirit pool on Heavenly Scroll Peak, you deliberately went to visit Master first. Didn't I tell you to go to the profound spirit pool today to cleanse your bloodline? Why did you come to me? Master, I feel a little uneasy. I've heard before that the disciples from Heavenly Scroll Peak don't get along well with us from Sunset Glow Peak. I'm afraid that once I'm there, if I awaken a special bloodline, what if I get targeted? Hearing your words, Su Qingshuang's face immediately darkened. She said coldly, "How dare they? No one bullies my disciples." "All right, I'll go with you myself." You were secretly overjoyed. You had guessed correctly from the expressions of the Heavenly Scroll Peak disciples earlier. You had already guessed there was a big conflict between the two peaks. Otherwise, they wouldn't have scowled just seeing you all. So, accompanied by eldest senior sister and master, you all arrived at Heavenly Scroll Peak. And this time, when those disciples saw Su Qingshuang, they all scattered in fear. "You wanna go in, with me guarding? I'd like to see who dares to harm you." With Master's assurance, you gladly walked into the secret chamber and stepped into the profound spirit pool. The bone-piercing pain returned. But this time, you quickly adapted. Suddenly, a red light shot up into the sky. Su Qingshuang and Shen Ruoqing were greatly shocked. They pushed open the door and looked at you. 3 streams of Dragon Yang true flames were swirling around you. Master even blurted out, "Innate Dragon Yang sacred physique." You felt extremely puzzled. The physique you awakened last time wasn't this one. Why did it turn into a sacred physique this time? Did it perhaps upgrade? Just then, that man appeared. He saw you at once. Su Qingshuang stood in front of you. She said coldly, "Sect Master, this is my disciple." The man spoke directly, his tone leaving no room for doubt. "The Dragon Yang sacred physique is a great tonic. It's exactly the nourishment I need. Su Qingshuang, are you going to contend with me?" Su Qingshuang still wouldn't back down. The man suddenly chuckled. "It's just a disciple. In exchange, I'll give you that soul-devouring pill. You need it right now." You heard them starting to make a deal and felt extremely bewildered. What in the world is a soul-devouring pill? Just by the name, it doesn't sound good. However, to your utter surprise, Su Qingshuang actually gave in. You realized the situation was bad. The moment you were lifted by an unseen force, you decisively ended the simulation. Simulation ended. Obtained event fragments. 1. The perverted sect master's schemes. 2. Master's trust. 3. Am I a sacred or immortal physique? Looking at the event fragments, you fell into thought. Following this simulation path, the perverted sect master was destined to drain your bloodline. And Su Qingshuang, due to the soul-devouring pill's temptation, had no choice but to compromise. That meant there must be something wrong with her. She had to rely on this pill for control. So this pill, could it be related to third senior sister digging out hearts? After all, following novel tropes, such matters often come with untold secrets, and this part of the sect master's storyline was unavoidable. If you wanted to awaken your physique, you had to trigger related events. Therefore, the key to surviving was still to rely on Su Qingshuang to figure out what was really happening to her. Perhaps that was the only way to break the deadlock. If you asked eldest senior sister and them directly, you'd likely be killed on the spot. So you decided to, while fourth senior brother was still alive, keep trying to get information out of him. Simulation started. You ran straight to the next room and threatened fourth senior brother. Zhou Chunfeng was surprised as always. You seized the chance to press him, asking what hidden dangers Master had within her. Zhou Chunfeng fell silent for a moment, and finally gave the answer. Su Qingshuang was corrupted by demonic qi. She would lose her sanity every once in a while. This demonic qi was like an addictive evil poison. As for how to completely cure it, he couldn't explain. Perhaps third senior sister would have an answer. So, while Zhou Chunfeng went to inform, you went to the room next door to find third senior sister, to ask about Master's condition. Liu Ryan was very surprised by this. But hearing Zhou Chengfeng had spilled the beans, she suddenly felt a sense of reluctance. However, she still told you the solution. Dual cultivation with a male cultivator who possesses a pure Dao physique can completely remove the demonic key imprint. However, someone with a pure Dao physique is 1 in a million. After getting the result you wanted, you actively ended the simulation. Obtained event fragment. The perverted sect master's schemes. This information was truly important. So, between master and the sect master, there was this layer of karma. No wonder the disciples of the two peaks were so cold. The sect master and the elders already had deep grudges. Su Qingshuang's personality, you'd pretty much figured out. She was a ruthless woman, never procrastinating. If a normal relationship reached this point, she would absolutely turn on the sect master. But the sect master had mastered the method for refining the soul-devouring pill and used it to control Su Qingshuang. So your initiative now was to help master resolve the demonic key imprint in her body, to completely remove it. Only then would master have the leverage to confront the sect master. Otherwise, even if you awakened the most heaven-defying physique, you'd just become nourishment for others. You thought carefully, muttering to yourself, pure Dao physique. You had never heard of this physique before. Third senior sister hadn't explained it clearly either. You suddenly shifted your gaze to the last event fragment. Am one a sacred or immortal physique? You noticed that the physique awakened in each simulation was different, and it kept changing. This meant that, in the next simulation, if you directly awakened a pure Dao physique, wouldn't everything be resolved? With that thought, you immediately started the simulation. You followed suit, and once again came to the profound spirit pool with Master. But this time, you could feel your body rapidly transforming. However, the transformation took much longer than before. As dusk approached, Master and the other waiting outside grew puzzled, just as they thought you might not withstand the cleansing, and had died inside. A multicolored pillar of light shot up into the sky. Su Qingshuang and Shen Ruoking's faces changed drastically, and they immediately pushed open the door. They saw you emerging from the profound spirit pool. Even the well-informed Su Qingshuang couldn't tell what your physique was at first glance. Just then, a figure appeared at the doorway. The sect master's gaze shifted from surprise to fervent heat, and he exclaimed excitedly, "This is the primordial limitless immortal physique. Heaven truly helps me." The sect master couldn't wait to lift you up. Su Qingshuang's face suddenly darkened, and with a raise of her hand, she snatched you away. She said coldly, "Sect master, this is my disciple." The two still exchanged the same words as last time. But when you heard the sect master bring up the soul-devouring pill, your heart leaped into your throat, and Su Qingshuang gave you a deep look. You vaguely caught a hint of covetousness in her eyes. "Sect master, don't try to pressure me with the soul-devouring pill. If I remember right, he's pretty much a pure Dao body too. With a pure Dao body, the poison in my real body isn't a problem. It's my picture. I'll use it however I want. Even if I turn it into a cauldron, it's not for you." After saying that, Su Qingshuang just grabbed you and left. You feel like your head just got hit hard. You're dizzy and sick, as you're hesitating whether to end the sim. In your ears, you faintly catch Su Qingshuang and Shen Ruoping talking. From their convo, you learn why Su Qingshuang took you as a disciple. At first, he planned to raise you as a regular test subject, and then turn you into a cauldron. But now, before you hear the end, you don't get to hear the rest, and your mind fades away. Simulation ends. You take a deep breath, and can only think, "I'm screwed." You gotta know, there's a big difference between a dual cultivation partner and a cauldron. Once you're made into a cauldron, you become like a zombie, no will at all. After thinking for a long time, you can only put keeping your master from making you into a puppet cauldron at the top of your list.
And
You decide to run more sims in this world, till you find the best outcome. You bring up the system page again, and check the fragment settlements. Number 1, am I a sacred body or an immortal body? 2, gaining master's trust is first. Congrats, host, for completing the event. Am I a sacred body or immortal body? You can pick one of the following as a reward. 1. 200% cultivation feedback during a sim. 2. In a single sim. Keep one earned reward. 3. Your looks improve a ton in the sim. You look at the 3 options. At first glance, besides number 2, there's nothing useful. And option 2 seems weird. Kinda hard to figure out. After some thought, you still pick number 2. Then, you feel a mysterious power pour into you. You look up at the sky. It's getting late. Time to send senior brother Joe off. You head to the Kixia Hall like you know the way. You focus on the traitor stuff and share your opinion. You still got your master's support. Nothing went wrong at all. Master is still the same. And so are the senior sisters. You quickly head back to your place and interrupt Zhou Chengfeng practicing his sword. This time you're even more direct. You're not even acting. You just say, Senior brother Zhou, I know all your secrets. You're just a backstabbing traitor. Zhou Chengfeng stares at you in shock. After a long pause, he says coldly, Junior brother. What nonsense are you spouting? You must have a death wish. Some words shouldn't be spoken carelessly. Or it'll get you killed. Oh, it'll get me killed? So now you want to snitch to master and silence me for good. To prove you're the most obedient. You stand there and sneer. After a few simulations, you can clearly see Zhou Chengfeng's role in the sect. He seems like a decent guy on the surface. But secretly, he betrays his peers with a smile. Master needs the medicine. Maybe using the pills is why people end up dead. But the pills are only made from disobedient disciples. But if everyone's obedient, who gets the blade then? And so you get someone like Zhou Chengfeng. He says it's for your own good, while kissing up to master, selling out his peers' lives in return, to show he's the good, obedient one. But Su Qingshuang doesn't see it that way. If anyone more obedient shows up, then his fate is just like those who already disappeared. Zhou Chengfeng is creeped out by your words. He turns and runs towards Kixia Hall. In no time at all, Su Qingshuang and Shen Ruoqing arrive. You see Su Qingshuang holding Zhou Chengfeng's head and says, "You honor. Good job. This year's quota for washing the bloodline at Juanling Pool is yours." After Master and Shen Ruoqing leave, you look at Zhou Chengfeng's head on the ground. So long, fourth brother pirate. From then on, the trust Master gave him before now goes to me. Even just a sliver of hope. I don't want to be turned into a cauldron. 3 days later, you still drag Master along to awaken your bloodline. And still awaken the Hunyuan Wuji immortal body. The sect leader and Master still fight over you. But in the simulation, Master felt more imposing. In reality though, the sect leader is more domineering. This freaks you out. At this point, Su Qingshuang can't back down, so you decide to hype him up. You say firmly, "Sect leader, I'm a disciple of the Biluo sect, but you want me dead for no reason. But my master is Su Qingshuang. If I'm going to die, I'll die by master's hand. You have no right to kill me." Then you turn and look at Su Qingshuang. "Master, if you got your own problems, just hand your disciple over." As soon as you say that, Shen Ruoqing quickly tugs your arm and whispers, "Don't say that." Do you know what you're saying? "Senior sister, I'm telling the truth. Master found me when I was at my lowest. If not for him, I'd have starved outside ages ago." Su Qingshuang is clearly moved by your words.
He was going to stand up to the sect leader anyways.
But you gave him a push, so he can't possibly back down now. Sect leader, what Yuan'er says is right. Ever since I brought him to the sect, I've treated him like my own, taught him with care. The sect leader sees how hard Master holds his ground, and says, "Fine then. Just don't let me catch you making him a cauldron." And leaves in a huff? You breathe a sigh of relief. Finally made it past this one. But before you can even take 2 steps, everything suddenly goes black, and you collapse. Master. There's finally a way to cure your poison. Shen Ruoqing looks delighted. No rush. His cultivation's too low right now. If we make him into a cauldron now, it won't work. Wait till he's trained up some more. And we can test him too. Time flies. You've already hit key refining stage 5. Time for another sim. Simulation starts. You head straight for Kixia Hall. Su Qingshuang senses your arrival, checking you out, sensing your new level, and asks why you came. You salute with a bow. Thank you, Master, for forcing me to rest when awakening. You kept my body safe. Your Honor, since you came to me, you must get what Master and the sect leader meant. You get what I'm saying, right? I've been hurt by demonic energy. I need a pure Tao body to recover. Su Qingshuang slowly walks over. You swallow nervously. Try to stay calm and say, I understand. So what does Master want me to do? It's simple. I need to make you into a cauldron. Every day I'll absorb your energy and life to get rid of the poison. He pauses. His voice turns cold and twisted. So, Your Honor, you're willing to sacrifice for me, right? You said you would, after all. After hearing that, you can't help but step back. Master, you can't be serious. That's not a cauldron. You liar, you never meant it. Su Qingshuang suddenly turns hostile. He grabs you. Right before he kills you. You manage to end the simulation just in time. Event shard acquired. Is Master's trial always this direct? After everything so far, even Hannibal would call you senior. After this simulation, you've pretty much figured out Su Qingshuang's style. He's just trying to scare you. As long as you're consistent, you should pass. You start the simulation again. You arrive back at Kixia Hall. This time, you didn't let him speak first. You spoke up with something seemingly random. Master, I know everything now. Su Qingshuang looked stunned. What do you know? That day when the sect leader faced off with you, I heard every word clearly. So you have a hidden sickness inside you. And only a pure Tao body can cure it. I've awakened my immortal body. I should be able to help you, Master. Su Qingshuang didn't expect you to say that. He smiled. You're right. A pure Tao body really is the best cure. So, are you willing to help me detoxify? That's why I'm here. Who else would help you if not me, Master? You replied firmly. No wonder you're such a good disciple. But do you know how to help me? I don't. Su Qingshuang started intimidating you again. He asked if you're willing to sacrifice yourself. You took a deep breath. Your expression changed from shock to determination. You said, Master, I'm willing. Su Qingshuang thought you'd be scared, just as he felt murderous intent. He didn't expect you to suddenly change your face.
He reached out his right hand.
A short blade appeared out of thin air. He tossed it to you. All right then. Go ahead and gouge out your eyes yourself. You took the knife. You're sure it's another test. It's all part of the trial. If you hesitate, you'll be judged fake. So you raised the blade and aimed right for your eyes. When the tip was just 0.01 centimeters from your pupil, the knife suddenly dropped. Your heart was racing. You quietly celebrated your gamble worked out. At the same time, you switched to your veteran actor persona. Your eyes showed just the right amount of shock. A bit of confusion and some relief. Master, what's this about? Su Qingshuang's gentle face turned much colder. He waved his hand. Enough. Your Hanyu and Wuji body just awakened. Your eyes probably aren't ready for medicine. Let them heal for now. Facing Master's insincere words, you smiled a little. Understood, Master. Whenever you need, just say the word. You left Su Qingshuang, who looked conflicted. After leaving, you decided to find third senior sister first. Walking into the alchemy room, Liu Ryan was surprised to see you. She was also quietly sizing you up. She'd already heard from first senior sister that you'd awaken your immortal body. With an immortal body, you'll surely reach the heaven's pinnacle in the future. Become an immortal. If she could turn you into a furnace and use it to the fullest. Liu Ryan's eyes went blank for a moment. An odd thought popped into her mind. Senior sister, what's wrong? You waved your hand in front of Liu Ryan. Finally, she snapped back. Nothing. Just suddenly remembered something. By the way, why are you looking for me? I'm busy making pills. No time for small talk. Senior sister, I'm curious. What's up with Master's poison? Didn't you ask Master about it? Liu Ryan asked, surprised. You made up a decent excuse and brushed it off. After thinking it over, Liu Ryan decided to tell you the truth. Since you'll help detox Master in the future, no point hiding the secret. As third senior sister explained, you finally figured everything out. Master's body got corrupted with demonic energy. The source was the sect leader. During a sect mission, Bilwozong's sect leader and elders headed south to attend something like a sect exchange. On the way home, the demon sect targeted them. Because the sect leader was stubborn, he ignored Su King Shuang and the elders' advice. He got them surrounded. 3 elders got badly hurt by demonic energy, but the sect leader, the culprit, had no harm at all. Since then, sect leader would sometimes send a soul-devouring pill, or send over some disciples. That's pretty much what you expected. The conflict between sect leader and the elders started there. But you caught on to the keyword send disciples, that particular clue. Sending pills makes sense. But sending disciples, what's that about? Senior sister, about sending disciples, you mean? Let me ask, Zhao Yuanlang and Zhou Chenfeng, did they come from Tianshu Peak? You pressed her. Liu Ryan gave you a deep look. She smiled a bit. Yes, both came from Tianshu Peak. It's been several years already. Junior, did you figure something out?
Tell me.
You swallowed nervously. If you're genuine, be genuine till the end. But still, you needed a good reason to cover yourself. You pointed at the black jar and said confidently, if I'm right, that jar holds the hearts of our senior brothers. When we buried Zhao Yuanling, Zhou Chenfeng slipped up. But what I didn't know was, the hearts are left for a master, as ingredient to suppress his poison. Liu Ryan was secretly shocked. Very honest. Junior, you actually know a lot. Guess I haven't paid much attention to you. Senior sister, I don't get it. Why are their hearts black? You know, a black heart doesn't mean someone's bad. It means they've been tainted. But these words have to come from third senior sister herself. Hey, Junior, their hearts are black. Is your heart black too? Liu Ryan suddenly raised a knife, faced with her sudden move. You were shocked, managed to hold down your anxiety. Sighed, third senior sister. What do you mean by that? Brother, cultivators at your level don't deserve to know so much. But I'll satisfy your curiosity. Seeing Liu Ryan's sinister smile. Now you know what fear feels like. Please, senior sister, I'm willing to listen closely. You locked eyes with Liu Ryan. She parted her lips with a playful tone. A black-hearted person isn't always bad, but they're always against master and us. Such people must die. Junior, is your heart black too? If it is, even with an immortal body, you must die. Liu Ryan pouted, her tone a mix of regret and certainty. You felt the blade cut through your thin clothes and pierce your chest. You grabbed Liu Ryan's hand tightly and pressed down harder on her hand. The knife stabbed 2 inches in. Liu Ryan was scared by your wild move. She never meant to actually kill you, because you're useful to master for detox. Junior HMPH. What are you doing? Don't you want to live? Let go. Liu Ryan shouted angrily. She tried to pull back, but you held her firm. You were secretly thrilled. Nice, so third senior sister likes this kind of thing. You gripped Liu Ryan's hand tightly and said word by word, senior sister, you want to know if my heart is black? I've got a way. No need to actually dig out my heart. Then you pushed the knife in farther. Liu Ryan was totally stunned. You gently pulled out the knife. Then, in front of her, you split open your chest with your hands. The sharp pain almost made you faint. Blood gushed out. Liu Ryan stood still, her eyes wide open, because through the wound, he clearly saw the beating heart. A hot, vibrant red heart. Did you see that, sister? You uttered these words with your last breath, then collapsed straight down. 3 days later, you woke up. As you were about to sit up, Liu Ryan reached out her small hand and patted your forehead, pushing you back down. Ouch, am I not dead? Liu Ryan snorted coldly. After some complaints, she voluntarily fed you the herbal medicine. She even apologized to you and swore that from now on you'd be the closest siblings. Liu Ryan's sudden change caught you off guard, but in her eyes, you saw trust. Sister, I don't resent you, because I also want to know. If my heart is truly black, I'm afraid I'll end up like my senior brothers. You're new to cultivation, and there's a lot you don't understand. Seeing you dwell on the black heart, Liu Ryan finally offered an explanation. There's a type of immortal called a corrupted immortal. Their distinguishing feature is a black heart. Simply put, corrupted immortals are cultivators, infected by a sinister power. They look no different from normal cultivators, but they can infect normal cultivators, turning them into their puppets. Those who get infected will also gradually have their hearts turn black. And once an infected person dies, all their lifelong cultivation transforms into nutrients, feeding the corrupted immortal. You were utterly shocked. This cultivation method, what's the difference between this and raising people like dogs? You die, everything feeds the master, who then cultivates new ones. It's a vicious cycle. Liu Ryan said a lot, spoon-feeding you the medicine from the pot. She warned you not to be affected by her words, but you still had many questions. Sister, is it because my heart is red that you're willing to tell me all this? Liu Ryan affirmed, yes, that's also what Master meant. I can clearly tell you, we are all normal cultivators. Our conversation today must be kept secret. No outsider must ever know. You expressed understanding. You wanted to ask more, but Liu Ryan directly cut you off, telling you to rest and recover. Then left alone, you lay in bed, closed your eyes, and fell into deep thought. With the situation progressing to this point, you truly began to see just the tip of the cultivation world's iceberg. According to third senior sister, a corrupted immortal could be anyone. There's a corrupted immortal in the righteous path, and also one in the demonic path. Corrupted immortals oppose normal cultivators, turning them into their puppets and nutrients. That's why the sect specifically targets those with black hearts. As the simulation runs increased, your memories became more complex. You decided to review the recent events, from beginning to end. First, Su Qingshuang is an elder of the Azure Sky Sect. Due to the sect master, she was accidentally corrupted by demonic energy. And recently, she was poisoned by an evil venom. So between Zhao Yuanlang and Zhou Chanfeng, one must be a traitor. It's even possible both are, because they were both puppets sent by the sect master. Second, the three senior sisters are Su Qingshuang's capable generals. Su Qingshuang trusts them greatly, as she personally trained all three of them. They couldn't possibly be infected, and you proved your heart was red, which is why Liu Ryan's perception of you changed so drastically from previous simulations. Her shocked reaction after digging out your heart easily confirms this. Su Qingshuang and the others always thought you also had a black heart, and were already corrupted by the sect master. Finally, with these conclusions, it's not hard to spot a detail. When did Su Qingshuang start changing her attitude towards you? That's right. It was precisely when you awakened your bloodline. All three awakenings, Su Qingshuang did the same thing. She defied the sect master. If you were corrupted by the sect master, even awakening a heaven-defying physique would ultimately turn into nutrients for the sect master. There would be no point for Su Qingshuang to protect you, and there'd be no reason for the sect master to rush to drain your bloodline on the spot. But the cause and effect was reversed. The sect master showed extreme fanaticism, impatient, wanting to claim you for himself. This precisely showed that you hadn't been corrupted into a black-hearted person. That's why Su Qingshuang made her judgment, decisively defying the sect master and snatching you away. You caught a detail that was almost impossible to notice. Damn. So during the last simulation, Su Qingshuang lifting me up was also to scare me? She wasn't actually trying to kill me, but I thought I had angered her, and hastily ended the simulation. You lay in bed and smiled with relief, finally feeling like your hardships had ended in sweetness. So the next enemy is only the sect master. He covets your immortal physique, and definitely won't give up easily. You rested in bed for the whole night. The next morning, you were summoned to Qixia Hall, because Su Qingshuang's demonic energy imprint had stirred last night. If it wasn't suppressed before tonight, it would likely erupt again. You resolutely agreed to Master's request for the ritual. After returning to your courtyard, you used this time to cultivate continuously. You found your cultivation speed was still exceptionally fast. What surprised you most was that no residue from the medicine was left in your body. You speculated that your primordial infinite immortal physique seemed to possess an extremely powerful absorption ability. Late at night, you arrived at Qixia Hall. Inside the private chambers, you saw Su Qingshuang. She was reclining on the bed, her beautiful eyes slightly lifted. Yuaner, come here. You cautiously walked over. Although in simulations, you had already experienced Master's first night 3 times, In reality, you were still just a greenhorn. You honor. I feel the imprint in my body. It's almost impossible to suppress now. Sit properly. You followed Su Qingshuang's instructions and sat cross-legged on the bed. She slowly rose from the bed, and the silk scarf in her hand slipped. You instinctively reached out to catch it. Testing a disciple with this? You muttered to yourself. Su Qingshuang suddenly placed her palm on top of your head. Your vision went black, and it felt like something was violently drained from your body. You immediately passed out. Early the next morning, you finally woke up. You were lying in your own room, feeling somewhat weak. After experiencing an even stronger dizziness, you went to Kixia Hall for the third time. You thought this ritual would be like the previous two, and you'd be knocked out again. But to your utter surprise, Su Qingshuang seemed like a different person. Her eyes were blood red, and she lunged at you fiercely, biting your neck. Overwhelming dizziness swept over you. You saw a demonic shadow appear behind her. Master demonized. By the time senior sister and the others realized something was wrong and rushed over, you were almost sucked dry like a mummy. You didn't wait for the senior sisters to save you. You died. Simulation over. Rewards obtained. 1. Key condensation level 6 cultivation 2. 2. Blood replenishing pill given by Liu Ryan 3. 3. Master secretly kept silk scarf. A string of question marks appeared above your head. Rewards obtained means things gained during the simulation. That's easy enough to understand. But when did you secretly keep the silk scarf? Slander, pure slander. For the rewards obtained, you directly chose cultivation out of 3 options. As you spoke, the true key in your body surged for a moment. Then the turbulence subsided. Your spiritual energy fluctuations immediately soared to key condensation level 6. Obtained event fragments. 1. Yander 3rd Senior Sister's Salvation 2. Master's Trust 3. The disappearing senior brother. The event fragments have been collected. You quickly entered the event quest log to unlock it. Ding! Congratulations, host, on completing the event. The disappearing senior brother. You can choose one reward from the following options. 1. Surrounding people's favorability towards you increases by 20%. 2. Cultivation speed during simulation increases by 2 times. 3. Simulation rewind. 4. Honey trap. Wow, this time it's a 4-choice option. They even brought out the honey trap. You first glance. Your eyes fell on the 3rd option with the most text. Clearly, special abilities for the simulation itself always have top priority. Other options are just icing on the cake. You decisively chose simulation rewind. After choosing, you felt delighted. You glanced at the taskbar, at the perverted sect master's dark hand entry, and hummed. It's now at 4/5. Almost done. Now it's clear. The sect master is an alien immortal. Could it be? His goal wasn't just to control Su Qingshuang. You calmed yourself. A hint of worry appeared. You pondered why Su Qingshuang suddenly killed you. She demonized, like crazy, and almost drained your blood dry, beyond saving. Logically, after you detoxed Su Qingshuang, her condition should have improved. Judging by senior sister's reaction at the end, they clearly didn't expect Master to suddenly lose control. And the first 2 times were fine. Why did something go wrong the very last time? To prevent Master from draining you dry, you decided to continue the simulation. Same process as the last simulation. Liu Ryan was taking care of your injuries. This time, you didn't ask about the sect master, but turned the questions to Master instead. From Liu Ryan's words, you learned detox needed 3 steps. Step 1, use origin power to seal the outer layer of the demonic mark. Step 2, absorb the demonic imprint. Step 3, clear the flesh corrupted by the demonic mark. Only then is it complete. Hearing the same words as last simulation, you frowned. You probed, senior sister. I mean, what if it's already at step 3, clearing the corrupted flesh? What if Master suddenly goes into a demonic frenzy? Liu Ryan paused and asked, confused, Junior brother, your what if isn't valid. The demonic imprint is cleaned in phase 2. How could she suddenly demonize? You smiled and gave an excuse. I'm just worried, you know. Gotta think about emergencies. What if it really happens? Liu Ryan was an alchemist. This wasn't a hard question for her. After a moment of thought, she slowly said, Junior brother, if that really happens, it only means the second detox step had issues. Either the detox wasn't successful, with remnants, or other forces were secretly at play. After senior sister left, you were confused. Detox unsuccessful? Remnants? No way. Could Su Qinshuang be so foolish as to not know if the poison was cleared? Full of doubts, you decided that when detoxing Su Qinshuang, you'd investigate it personally. On the second night, you went to the boudoir behind Qixia Palace. Su Qinshuang motioned for you to sit, but you shook your head, refusing. Master, since you need my help with detox, may I take the initiative? I take the initiative? Master, think about it. You need to extract my immortal body origin. Why can't you? Let me actively transfer the origin to you. And you refine it yourself? But Yuaner, do you know how to transfer origin? Su Qinshuang asked, puzzled. You said reserved, a little. After some thought, Su Qinshuang still decided to let you try. You sat on the bed. Su Qinshuang sat down across from you and slowly raised her right hand. You raised your left hand in response, palms facing each other. You circulated your inner ki, transferring your immortal body origin to her. A weaker person transferring origin to a stronger one was like going against the current. Extremely inefficient. Su Qinshuang frowned slightly, clearly a little displeased. Yet, during the origin interaction, her body felt like your own, allowing you to probe and sense. You saw a black mark on her chest, slightly left, which had spread into her flesh and meridians. Sealed by a certain power, Su Qinshuang eventually grew impatient and said, Yuaner, your cultivation is too low. Let me. You suddenly blacked out and were knocked out again. After 3 days of rest, you performed the second detox as master instructed. You pleaded with Su Qinshuang for time. Su Qinshuang reluctantly agreed. After some investigation, you found that after the last detox, the mark had faded quite a bit. But to your surprise, as the mark was removed, the nearby meridians pulsated with a faint squirming sound. Could it be a GU worm? You were about to speak, but Su Qinshuang grew impatient again and took the initiative, knocking you out again. Waking on the third day, your body was extremely weak. You ignored your own condition and quickly found senior sister. Senior sister, you must take me to master. Otherwise, master is in danger. Your frantic look wasn't a joke. Shen Ruoqing finally gritted her teeth and rushed with you to Qixia Palace. Yuaner, Kinger, what's wrong with you two? Can't you wait until I'm out of seclusion? Ignoring your weakness, you quickly blurted out your discoveries and guessed it was due to pills refined by Zhao Yuanlang that caused it. Su Qinshuang's expression grew serious. Yuaner, I know. You go rest now. Eldest, call the third and the others. You were sent back to your room. You finally breathed a sigh of relief. During 2 days of rest, you couldn't find the senior sisters. Until the third morning, senior sister found you and took you to meet Su Qinshuang. Yuaner, you've truly done great service this time. There are indeed worms in my body, and they are heart-eating GU worms. Heart-eating GU worms. You stood there stunned. Liu Ryan explained. Heart-eating GU worms are a type of GU worm, attaching themselves to a cultivator's meridians and slowly moving towards the heart meridian. Once they succeed, they'll parasitize the heart chamber, completely demonizing the person. To put it simply, if the demonic mark near master's heart is removed, the heart-eating GU worms can seize the chance and crawl in. Hearing this, you looked enlightened. GU worms after all. So, the demonic mark's damage blocked the heart meridian pathway, which actually blocked the heart-eating GU worm's path. This explains why, during the third detox, Su Qinshuang suddenly had a demonic outburst. So, master, have the heart-eating GU worms been dealt with? Facing your questions, Su Qinshuang shook her head slightly. The heart-eating GU worms are deep in the heart meridian and can be killed with medicine. Even if we forcibly kill them, it would also damage me greatly. So, I can currently only use the remaining corrupted flesh near the heart meridian to maintain balance with the heart-eating GU worms. Is there really no solution? You couldn't help but ask, Liu Ryan said with a solemn look. There's only one way, to fight GU with GU. And force it out. The tricky part is, heart-eating GU worms' only predator is twin love GU. But this requires two people. Twin love GU, meaning two child love GU worms, are implanted into a male and female pair, because child love GU worms, as parasites, will want their other half to relocate to their side, so they'll cultivate a suitable environment in their hosts. They create a livable environment. Once they find other foreign worms, they'll treat them as invaders and attack, killing them off. However, there's a prerequisite. Liu Ryan paused. Implanting twin love GU worms isn't just for any male and female pair. Simply swallowing a worm. The two must be dual companions, and must be done during dual cultivation. There's another risk. Once the love GU takes root in someone's body, if it's not quickly removed, it's just as dangerous as the heart-devouring GU. You pause for a moment. You open your mouth, looking a bit hopeful. I'm the only male cultivator at Luoxia Peak now. I can do it. Junior brother, you missed the point. The real issue is, senior sister, I don't know how to get the twin GU bones out of my body if I don't remove them. How is that any different from raising a new bone?
Hearing this,
You smile at master and senior sister. You seem to have forgotten that I'm an immortal body. Honestly, my constitution can refine any impurities. The GU worms can just be absorbed as nourishment. Master, I really want to save you. I really want to improve myself. Su Qingshuang frowned a bit. Her cheeks flushed slightly. She looked a bit resistant. The twin love GU is actually a common healing method in ancient medicine. But now there's only you, a male cultivator at Luoxia Peak. Are they really going to dual cultivate with their disciple? Shen Ruoqing looked at you. Her gaze was kind of complicated. She tried to ask, Junior brother, are you saying the Zikin Valley is in your body, so you can be immune to the side effects? You added, it's not immune to harm. It's that there just won't be any harm at all. These days, I've learned a lot about my own constitution. Otherwise, I wouldn't have noticed the abnormality in Master. In the end, Su Qingshuang was swayed. You actually look pretty good. For a male cultivator, you're quite attractive. Most importantly, dual cultivation with an immortal body brings better benefits, which normal constitutions can't match. Su Qingshuang won't lose out. As for Xianji, her life is almost over now, so there has to be a choice. If the heart-devouring GU enters the heart, her 100 years of cultivation will be ruined. She might even become someone else's stepping stone. That's just how the world works. I'm afraid this is the only option, as your teacher. Su Qingshuang's eyes were suddenly firm. She slowly looked at you. Yuana, your realm is too low. Even if your immortal body can swallow GU, there's still a risk, because our realms are too far apart. If yin and yang are thrown out of balance, you could explode and die. Are you still willing? You know how risky dual cultivation is with such a big gap? But this is a precious chance to bond with your master, or rather a rare chance to save a life. If you miss this, you may not get another shot. There's no second chance. Once everything's ready, you go to the master suite behind Kixia Hall. Yuaner, close your eyes. If your teacher doesn't let you open them, don't open your eyes, got it? Su Qingshuang's voice was cold. All you could do was nod like a little chick. You sat on the edge of the bed, listening to Su Qingshuang undressing. You couldn't help secretly opening your eyes a slit. You froze instantly, because Su Qingshuang's eyes were totally crimson. The next second, she went crazy and jumped right at you. She bit your neck. Then you suddenly realized the person before you isn't Su Qingshuang, but someone with a similar body to hers. In a panic, you activated simulation recall, setting the time back to before going to Kixia Hall. You stood in your room, breathing heavily, utterly shocked. What's going on? That wasn't Su Qingshuang. Her face looked more like the sect leaders. You stood there totally confused, a bit scared to go to Kixia Hall now. You turned around and went to find senior sister. You arrived at the eldest sister's place and called outside for a while. Just when you thought Shen Ruoqing wasn't there and were about to leave, she showed up behind you. Seeing senior sister, You quickly asked her to go to Kixia Hall with you. In the end, Shen Ruoking followed you, looking annoyed. But she didn't go into the master suite. She made you go in alone. Master still told you to close your eyes. But this time, you were extra careful, squinting your eyes to a slit. You saw everything clearly in front of you. You were shocked to see his eyes slowly turning red. The noise wasn't from undressing. It was coming from his body, sounded like puppet joints moving. He rushed at you. You dodged in time and cried out for help. You put on a show inside the shop like the king of Qin circling the pillar. But you waited a long time, and senior sister never showed up. Just when you were about to be bitten to death, you did simulation recall again. You went back to before you set out. Standing there, you remembered every detail. You were sure, right from the start, Su Qingshuang was fake. But whether it's the sect leader, you can't say. The face is similar, but the body is obviously smaller. As for senior sister, her behavior was weird too. She seemed a bit impatient about going to Kixia Hall, which wasn't like her. And why you were being attacked by that fake? She just vanished. This time you decided to try someone else. You approached third sister Liu Ryan. Since you're removing Jiyu from master, you have to take the Jiyu out first. You went to the west courtyard and called outside the door. The door opened. Junior brother, what's up? This time, shouldn't you go help master at Kixia Hall? Liu Ryan said. You were full of questions. Why does this sound exactly like senior sister's opening line? Sister, did you forget? We need to help master remove the GU. You realize something's wrong. Liu Ryan now looks like she's not prepped for twin love GU at all. You asked her to go meet master with you. When you arrived at Kixia Hall, she insisted you go in alone. You turned and looked at her, grinning coldly. Sect leader. You sure like to play dress up. You think I'm dumb, huh? Liu Ryan's face changed instantly. Her face started twisting and slowly turned into the sect leader's look. Her crimson eyes locked onto you. She rushed right at you. Your heart shuddered. And you quickly did another simulation recall. You were back in the courtyard. Just as I guessed, they were all one person in disguise. But where did the real master and sisters go? Seems like only when I enter Kixia Hall I get attacked. If they want my core, why not just grab me? Why only act inside Kixia Hall? You sensed your surroundings carefully. Very sharp, you noticed. The spiritual energy was thinning out. You suddenly realized you might have been shifted somewhere else. So you decided to use your last simulation recall. This time, you rewound back to discussing with Master and others. After the meeting, you didn't go back to your own room, but asked senior sister to let you stay and cultivate in her courtyard. Shen Ruoking didn't get why, but agreed anyway. You refined spiritual energy in the courtyard. Soon, you noticed the energy started to drop. Something felt off. When you opened your eyes, everything around suddenly got darker, like you were pulled out of that world. When you opened your eyes again, you were still sitting cross-legged in senior sister's courtyard. Same pose as before, but you were very sure. Someone had randomly dragged you off. The sect leader's powers were just insane. She yanked you away right in the open. So if this is aimed just at me, let's see. If I don't go to the shop, what can you do about it? You kept sitting where you were, closed your eyes and kept cultivating. Eventually, seems like she couldn't wait any longer. The fake senior sister came out, told you to hurry and detox master. You brushed her off, saying you were about to have a breakthrough. Shen Ruoking stood there, her brows slightly furrowed, then quietly went back inside. About a quarter hour passed. A voice rang outside. You opened your eyes. Second sister Shuang Hanyu was calling you from outside. Junior brother, why are you still stalling? You kept delaying. Shuang Hanyu looked even more annoyed. Not long after,
He disappeared.
but it wasn't long before he reappeared as Liu Ryan, scolding. Junior brother, what on earth are you doing? Are you making master wait for you at Kixia Hall? You sat there, doing nothing. This time, you didn't even open your eyes or utter a sound. The other person seemed powerless against you. After a cold snort, you felt he left. Just as you breathed a sigh of relief, you heard Su Qingshuang's voice. Yuaner, don't you want to save your master anymore? You opened your eyes and looked at Su Qingshuang 10 steps away. Finally, You smiled. You stood up and said, "Of course I'll save you. You're my master. How could I not save you?" "Then let's go." "Wait, why do we have to go to Kixia Hall?" "I think here is perfectly fine. We're all family anyway. So it's okay if we're seen." "Impudent disciple. What nonsense are you talking about?" The fake Su Qingshuang clearly lost it, their voice even changing. "You stopped pretending. You laid it all out. Come on. I knew you weren't human at a glance." "Sect Master, stop pretending. You want to trick me into Kixia Hall, because otherwise you can't kill me, right?" Su Qingshuang's face suddenly darkened. Their gaze slowly turned crimson, staring intently at you. They actually started to laugh. Their face gradually transformed into the Sect Master's. Their entire body began to swell, seemingly trying to forcibly suppress and kill you. Just then, a sharp cracking shout echoed. "Qin Lohan, don't harm my disciple, get lost." A large hand appeared out of nowhere, lifting you up, and directly pulled you out of that void space. Still shaken, you returned to your senior sister's courtyard. You clung tightly to Su Qingshuang's arm, not letting go. A cold snort came from the black spatial rift in front of you. Then it vanished. You survived. You felt a huge relief and let out a long breath. Finally, you learned from your master that Sect Master Qin Lohan possessed a spatial artifact called the Glazed Casket. It could trap people inside and evolve a false world according to the caster's will. And Kixia Hall was to be your slaughterhouse. If you entered, you would surely die. After this incident subsided, the task of removing Master's GU worm was put on the agenda. That day, Liu Ryan arrived at your pavilion, carrying a black jar. She said, "Master Junior Brother, the twin love GU needs an adaptation period after entering the body. You might experience severe discomfort. You must bear it. Once the discomfort in both your bodies subsides, you can begin dual cultivation." Liu Ryan naughtily raised an eyebrow at you, seemingly cheering you on. A blush appeared on Su Qingshuang's usually cold face. She still spoke. "Yuaner, you can't handle this. Close your eyes and lie down. Let your master take care of it." You obediently lay down on the bed, but Su Qingshuang used a sash from her skirt to blindfold you. You felt utterly helpless. A true man, born between heaven and earth, should not live long in oppression. You successfully helped Master detoxify, but also consumed more of your vital essence. You passed out. Due to the prolonged unconsciousness, you ended the simulation. Acquired rewards are as follows. 1. Key cultivation level 7. Cultivation base 2. Heart-devouring worm. 3. Master's skirt sash. 4. Third senior sister's medicine jar. The heart-devouring worm, as a reward, surprised you. You were a bit surprised. You see this thing? Even a nascent soul stage powerhouse like Su Qingshuang found hard to detect, and it was extremely difficult to eradicate. This proved its formidable nature. I choose the heart-devouring worm. Congratulations, host. You have acquired 1 heart-devouring worm.
Included the ancient poem My Struggle.
A streak of green light flashed, followed by a tiny green worm, landing in the palm of your hand. At the same time in your mind, the contents of the ancient poem My Struggle appeared. In desolation amidst the cold wind. Wait, this feels a bit off. Could it be the struggle of some immortal venerable? But there's no need to worry about it. What excited you most now was that this cultivation method didn't require extra practice. It directly granted experience. A satisfied smile appeared on your face. After reciting an incantation, the heart-devouring worm crawled into your ear. Now let's see what world fragments there are. You looked up at the system panel again. Acquired event fragments. 1. Master's Trust. 2. Yander. 3. Third Senior Sister's Redemption. 3. First Senior Sister's Gentleness. 4. Master's Test. 5. Master's First Night. Seeing the First Night fragment about to be collected, you were curious what reward you would get after collecting them all. You stood there, taking a deep breath. Now it was time to follow the simulated path. Everything proceeded as planned. Finally, you still left under Master's complicated gaze. Shortly after you left, First Senior Sister Shen Ruoking walked out from behind the hall. Kinger, what do you think? Master, I think Junior Brother Yuaner is quite sincere, and not someone with many tricks up his sleeve. Yes, I'm also a bit surprised that he was actually willing to die for me. If I hadn't stopped him, he would have surely gouged out his eyes. So, Master, are you still going to test him? Su Qingshuang hesitated. Actually, at this point, she didn't know how else to test him. The master and disciple didn't delve deeper into this topic. Instead, they started talking about the sect master. Master, I don't think we can just sit back and do nothing anymore. The sect master has harmed you repeatedly. How can we tolerate it every time? I am still afflicted by demonic poison, and clashing with Qin Mohan head-on would only result in mutual destruction. If the demonic sect were to attack, wouldn't we all be captured? Su Qingshuang didn't leave Biluo's sect now, because there were still external enemies eyeing them menacingly outside, and the environment was full of dangers. As the two were speaking, Shen Ruoking's communication stone suddenly lit up. Liu Ryan's anxious voice came through. No good, senior sister. Junior brother is injured and has passed out. When Su Qingshuang and Shen Ruoking arrived, Liu Ryan was tending to your unconscious body, treating the wound on your chest. Seeing the two arrive, Liu Ryan looked a bit flustered, yet exceptionally excited. Master, senior sister, do you know what I saw? Red, junior brother's heart is red. He's a normal cultivator, with no signs of being corrupted. Hearing this, Su Qingshuang's pupils constricted slightly. Is that true? Master, how could I lie to you? Junior brother ran over and asked me why Zhou Chenfeng and the others had black hearts. I told him about it. Then I playfully scared him, asking if his heart was black. But he seemed to be provoked, and without a word snatched my knife, slitting open his chest to show me. Actually, when I stepped in to save him, I was already certain he hadn't been corrupted by the sect master. Otherwise, Qin Mohan wouldn't have needed to snatch him away on the spot. Su Qingshuang mused. In that case, further tests are unnecessary. Su Qingshuang glanced at you and calmly said, Third one, since this started because of you. You should take good care of him until he wakes up. After you woke up, everything proceeded with the same steps. Soon Liu Ryan came to find you with the twin love fruit. Along the way, she told you many precautions. And because you knew a bit about medicine, third senior sister also told you some information that hadn't appeared in the simulation. Master was injured during the siege of the underworld sect, the heart-devouring worm raised by the sect master. And behind it, there must be a force called the Rotten Bone Sect helping him. After arriving at Master's room, Liu Ryan took out a small black worm. She condensed a ball of white mist in her hand, lifted the worm with it, and offered it to your mouth, telling you to eat it. You didn't hesitate, opened your mouth and swallowed it directly. Su Qingshuang did the same. Before leaving, Liu Ryan still gave you a mischievous look. Su Qingshuang softly snapped her fingers, and the entire room instantly darkened. If you could have seen the conflicted look on her face, you would have known that for her, this was ultimately something she had to do for self-preservation. Yuaner, you can't handle this. Close your eyes and lie down properly. Let your master take care of it.